6th grade. I'm coming at you with another language video. Isn't that fun? We're going to have like 3 today. That's exciting. And I want to talk about something that we haven't really talked about in the last couple weeks, and that is sentence diagramming. And please don't be filled with dread, because diagramming can be fun. I know you don't think it can, but it can. I have a lengthy Bible verse up here today. This is actually from the 5th grade work last week, and it's one that I think that you all sort of struggled with, but let me just say that I'm very impressed with how well you are all doing with diagramming so far. This is not easy, it's very tricky, and please don't beat yourself up just if you miss like one little thing, because this is hard, and what I've seen so far, I'm very impressed. So let's go ahead and jump into diagramming this sentence. It's pretty lengthy. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Now, I know that you're used to finding your verb first. We always say, find the verb. But since then, we've learned about predicate nominatives, direct objects, indirect objects. So what we actually need to do first is to find our prepositional phrases, and that is to avoid trying to use anything in those prepositional phrases as direct objects or predicate nominatives, because we know they are not found there, and I've really tried to emphasize that to you guys over the last few weeks. So let's find our prepositional phrases. Delight thyself also in the Lord. There's one, in the Lord, so we're not going to have a direct object there. And he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. There's another one, prepositional phrase. So we are not going to find any direct objects or anything like that in any complement in that part of the sentence. Now let's work on finding our verb, subject, stuff like that. All right. And also I want you to notice this right here, there's a comma and an and. That means that this is, you should know if you paid attention to my last video, this is a compound sentence. So we know that we need the chair when we do our diagramming. Okay, so now let's work on finding our verb or verbs, because we have 2 simple sentences together. All right, delight thyself also in the Lord. So let's focus on that first part first. All right, I see a verb. It's at the beginning of the sentence. Delight, subject. What's the subject here? Some of you were a little bit fooled by this. Don't be fooled. This is an imperative sentence. This is a sentence that is giving a command. And if a sentence gives a command or an instruction or tells you to do something, that's imperative, and that means that the subject is an understood you. So we know the subject is an understood you. All right. You delight thyself. All right, let's take a look, see if we can find any direct objects. You delight what? Thyself. Okay, so here's our direct object, and we know it's a direct object because it is receiving the action. So you delight thyself also in the Lord. All right, I don't see any indirect objects in here. Let's move on to the second part of the sentence. And he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Okay, let's find our subjects, verbs. Verb, shall give, right here. And make sure that you don't leave out those poor helping verbs, because they work really hard and they deserve credit, okay? All right, who shall give? He. All right, he shall give what? Do we have any direct objects, anything like that? Give sounds like an action verb, so we should have a direct object. Desires. There's our direct objects. All right, I think we have an indirect object too, and it's not going to be in here, so let's not look there. Desires for who? Thee. Here is our indirect object. We have a couple of other words in there, like also, and I believe that's an adverb. So we'll factor that in when we diagram as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this diagram and get started. Don't be scared. Come on, do it with me, guys. Get out a sheet of paper if you want to. All right. So let's start with our subject and verb for our first simple sentence. We know we have our line. All right, what was our subject? You. An understood you, okay? You do what? What's our verb? Delight. All right, and we have a direct object, thyself. All right, so how is thyself diagrammed? We You know, direct objects, when you diagram them, you're going to come down, you're going to meet the line. It's going to be a straight line because it's a direct object. You're not going to go past it because that's not how you do it. All right. Delight. What's our direct object? Thyself. Delight. Thyself. There we go. All right, we have this word right there, also. All right, delight, also. It goes with also. That's what it modifies. So it's just going to come down here like this, also. All right. All right. Delight thyself also. Okay. In the Lord. All right, so where does this in the Lord go? What do we do with that? Where does it go? It goes underneath delight because that's what it's modifying, okay? So we have in Lord. Make sure Lord is capitalized. And don't forget, we have a little article here and that functions as an adjective. All right. Whew. First part down. Let's get into the second part. We're almost there. Remember, we have a compound sentence. So we're going to have a chair. All right. And then the and goes in the chair. And we're going to come down here and do the second part of the sentence. It's getting kind of low towards the ground here. All right, we're going to have another line. Let's go ahead and diagram. All right, we're almost there, guys. All right, so we have our subject, he. All right. Shall give. All right, and we have desires as a direct object. Remember, you're going to draw a line. Don't cross the line. Desires. Here we go. Okay, we have those last couple of words. The, which is our indirect object, it's going to go under the verb, and indirect objects are diagrammed as such, like this. The, and then the desires of thine heart, it's modifying desires. Our prepositional phrase is modifying desires. So we have of, heart, and then whose heart? We have the adjective thine. There we go. We have successfully diagrammed this sentence. Make sure, if you want to, that if you're still not quite understanding, go back, replay this, watch it again, try to diagram it for yourself. Hey, that's what I do too. I don't know how to diagram every single sentence there is. Just make sure that you practice and that you're ready for your exam either next week if you're in 5th grade or in a couple weeks if you're in 6th grade. All right, bye guys, happy diagramming.